Alright, we are going to be finishing up the temperature graph that we've been doing. So the next date we're going to be looking at is the 23rd. What was the last one we just did? The 22nd?
Yes.
Yep. Alright, so we're going to write underneath in number 3, we are going to write 9/23. And you know what? Let's just do each one separately so we don't get confused. Alright, so for 9/23, the high was 84. So follow line 3 up and use your red. And 84, it's not quite halfway. You don't want to do in the middle. Oh, it's not showing, is it? I'm sorry. Let me get that. There we go. So 84, you don't want it right in the middle because that would be 85. So find about where the middle is and go like one little lower than that. All right. And then the low for that day, it keeps getting out where I need it to be. The low for that day was 55. So pick up your blue now and go down. Whoops. Sorry, I did not mean to do that. Go down to, there's 50, so it's going to be right in the middle between 50 and 60. Alright, then we pick up your regular pencil again and go to the next one. And we're going to put 9/24 underneath number 4. And for this one, 75 was the high. So follow line 4 up to the top. 75 would be in between. What two numbers?
70 and 80.
70 and 80. So you're going to put it right in the middle between 70 and 80 on line 4. And the low that day was 61. So get your blue. And with your blue, you're going to put it right above the 60. Okay, right above the 60. Alright, and then go back down to the bottom. Number 5, temperature number 5, where the date was 9. Whoops, let me just switch to my regular pencil. Whoops.
Keep moving.
I didn't know how to do that. I don't even know how to do that. I did it by accident. 9/25.
Which one was the fourth one?
Okay, I really need you to pay attention, okay? The fourth one, the low was 61, which was right above 60.
The highest.
And the high was 75, which we've already had a high of 75 one day, but it wasn't the day before. All right, so now get back to the next one, which was the date was 9/25. Make sure you follow that line up, the 5th line up. The low, let's start with the low this time, so you should have your blue. And the low was 57. So find 50 and go a little bit above halfway. About right there. That is not very neat. Let's try it again. Alright, that was about right. 57. And the high that day, the high that day was 79. So pick up your red and go up higher. We're almost to what?
80.
80. So put it right below the 80 with your red. John, can you keep it out with me? All right, go to the bottom now. number 6, and we're gonna do 9. Whoops, I need to get my regular pencil back. Okay, we're gonna do 926. All right, for 926, the low was 63. So pick up your blue, while the 6 line up, and you're gonna be a little bit above 60, right? A little bit above 60. And the high was only 72. So with your red, you're just gonna go up a little bit to right above the 70. Mark about where 72 would be. Okay, so that was not a very big change that day, was it? It was not so far apart. All right, we have one more to do, so go down to the 7th line and put 9. Now let's do it again. With your regular pencil, do 927. That was yesterday. And yesterday, the low was 64. So pick up your blue and go up to 60. Almost the middle, but just a tiny bit below the middle. Right? And then the high yesterday was 77. So you're gonna almost be up at the top, but not quite. Don't touch, don't go all the way up to 80, but about right there. It's higher than the middle will be right here, you wanna be a little bit above that. All right, now, what I was telling you about is you're gonna need your rulers. Now, I'm not gonna be able to use my ruler. I'm gonna have to cheat and just use my finger. So this is what you're gonna do. No, please don't, just look first. Hey, just look. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your ruler and you're gonna connect the dots. So you're going to connect this dot to this dot with your ruler to make it nice and straight, and then connect that dot to that dot, and then you connect that dot to the next dot, and then go back up to the next one, and then down, and then back up, like that. You're gonna use your ruler so you can make it nice and straight. Now on my iPad, I can't do the ruler, so you're just gonna have to use your ruler and do it. And then you're gonna make the other one, the blue dot, you're gonna connect it to the blue line. So you're gonna go straight across here, stay the same temperature for the lows for 2 days in a row, and then you're gonna go up, and then up again a little bit more, and then down, and then back up, and then over. Okay, and then you can see the difference each day, the difference in the high each day, and the difference in the low each day. And you can see which day had the biggest gap, right? The biggest gap was on the first day we took data, which was on 9/21. Notice how the gap is much bigger there. All right, so you're going to connect one dot at a time. And if you don't know what I mean, you need to do one with the red, and then we'll do one with the blue. So connect all the red dots, and then pick up the blue and connect all the blue dots. So that it makes lines like that, connecting day by day, so you can see whether it went up or it went down. And that is our temperature graph. All right. All right, if you did not finish, I need you just to stop for a moment. Okay, I just want you to stop and get your books open. We're going to go and read, and you can finish drawing the lines in just a minute. Okay, we're going to start on page 70, so everybody turn to page 70. Right now, stop using your ruler, just set your ruler aside, open up to page 70 now. Jonathan, now. All right, we're going to start on page 70. Everybody needs to be reading with me the terms to remember. Page 70, quickly. All right, is everybody with me? Just put your pencils and your rulers down. Put them down. Thank you. All right, read the terms to remember. Droplet, a very small drop. Condensation, the forming of tiny droplets of water as water vapor cools. Precipitation, any form of water that falls from the clouds to the earth. So what falls from the clouds to the earth?
Snow.
Snow. Somebody else said another one. I heard you. Who said another one? You said what?
Water.
What is it? When it's falling as water, it is, when water is falling from the clouds, it is, what do you call it? Ben? Ben, don't look at your book. Just think. If water is falling from the clouds, we say, look, I see
Rain.
rain. There you go. So rain, snow. What's another way it falls?
Sleet.
Sleet. And one big one?
Hail.
Hail. That is precipitation. All right? It does not matter whether it's liquid water or frozen water or water vapor. Okay? Rain, snow, sleet, or hail. All right, condensation. Let's read. I need your attention on your book. You put that down now. Put your pencils down now. Condensation. Everybody stop touching your ruler and stop touching your pencils. Thank you. The temperature is much colder higher in the atmosphere. As water vapor rises, it begins to cool. What do you think happens when heat energy is taken away from water vapor? The state changes again. The water vapor turns into tiny water droplets. These water droplets are what make a cloud. Water changing from water vapor to a liquid again is called condensation. So water changing from water vapor back to a liquid is called condensation. I said follow along as I read, didn't I? Precipitation. What happens to these clouds? The air can hold only so much water, so when heavy clouds meet cold air, this water falls to the earth. Sometimes it falls as rain. Other times it falls as snow, sleet, or hail. Any form of water that falls back down from a cloud to the earth is called precipitation. Abby, pay attention, please. So precipitation is any form of water falling from the clouds to the earth. All right? And they are rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Precipitation eventually makes its way back to the ocean where evaporation begins all over again. The earth and the air are always exchanging water with each other in the water cycle. The ocean never gets too full and it never dries up because the water cycle works perfectly. Even the water cycle shows us God's orderly design. God's plan for watering the earth is very wise. Read the verse with me before we go to the next page. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Ecclesiastes 1:7. All right? So if you look on the next page, this is a chart we will be looking at today. We're just going to look at it on your book. But this is the water cycle. All right, so everybody look at number 1 on the picture. On number 1 on the picture, it says, the sun heats the earth's water. All right, so as the sun is heating the water, what is happening to that water?
The water evaporates.
It evaporates. So look at number 2, and you can see the arrow is pointing from the water going up. So that is the water evaporates. Number 2. Now look at number 3. Warm water vapor rises. We already learned that warm air rises. Water vapor is in the air, right? So is that warm air? As it warms, it's going to rise. So you see another arrow in the air going up. That is the water vapor getting warm. So it does what? Rises. Warm water vapor rises. Now look at number 4. Number 4 is at the cloud. The water vapor cools, forming a cloud. All right, so that water vapor that rose, it gets up high enough that it cools and it turns back into a liquid. So it turns into a cloud. That's those clouds you see up there, right? Now look at number 5. Number 5 is showing what? You won't know if you don't look at your book.
The clouds.
No, I don't want you to look at the words. I want you to look at the picture. What's happening at number 5?
Raining.
It's raining and it's snowing. That's precipitation. The cloud cools, causing precipitation to fall. So when a cloud meets cooler air, precipitation is going to fall from it. And it could be rain or snow or sleet or hail. All right, and then number 6, what do you see at number 6? The water is going back into the rivers and onto the ocean. And that's what number 6 says. Water is used on the earth and returns to the ocean. All right, you will need to know this for a future test. And we will have a worksheet that we will do. I believe we're supposed to do it tomorrow. All right, turn one more page. Nope, 2 more pages, I'm sorry. Just one more page, because that next thing is not something we're going to do here. I'm supposed to have steaming water. Well, I don't even have an ability to make water steam in here. But how many of you seen, you had a glass sitting there and it was filled with cold liquid and it's sitting in a warm room and it starts to get water all over the outside of the glass. Was your glass leaking? No, that is condensation. All right, and that's what they're wanting you to do here. They're having you put a pan of ice cubes over steaming water. And you're going to see that the pan will start to condensate. It will look like water forming in the outside of the bowl of ice cubes. The ice cubes aren't leaking through, but that warm air and cold air meeting is going to cause precipitation on the outside of your bowl of ice. Okay? So, because of the warm air and the cold air meeting. All right. Next picture is talking about the water cycle, but we'll go over that more when we do our worksheet together. The blank is the source of energy that heats the earth. What is the source of energy that heats the earth? Just say it.
Sun.
Sun. Letter C. Very good. What is moving air?
Wind.
Wind. Very good. That would be letter D. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are called precipitation. Precipitation. Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are called precipitation. The earth and the air are always exchanging water with each other. This is called the blank cycle.
Water.
Water cycle. Very good. Let me put those away.